remember saying this last time. I don't want to put this number in. Because these doodles, Scotty mode, these doodles. So let's just put it like this. We'll do more of a bull pennant. Yeah, let's change it up. Bull pennant. And now, in order to find the probabilities where this price action might take us with this bull pennant, you take the bull, you slide it all to the breakout point. Let's put it at 104, and we're all at 97.3. I'm going to adjust it to some astrological numbers to make it 98, because you don't fade eights, right? This is where Asia comes in. And, you know, that would put us right around this channel of descension. So it makes sense to ride this low down at 98. I get so fixated on eights now because of Asia. They love their eights. Infinity, right? So they're very superstitious. They're a bunch of superstitious little so-and-sos over there, and they like to make their entries and exits on eights. So look at 98 to hold. Lord love a duck. If she didn't do just that, look at that. She broke out of our bear pennant, not bear flag, because there's such a huge difference. And wicked all the way down to 98.9. We got our 98 badge right there, right, with the technical astrology. And she held. Now, will she hold the next test? If there is a next test. I don't know. Who knows? But we have had a little bit of a recovery. What is this blue line here? I'm going to get rid of it. Delete. Oh, we'll just hide. I don't know where that came from. Can't screw up my moving averages here. Being underneath all three of them. All three on the 4-hour chart. She's a noisy little so-and-so. So what I'd like to see today is to at least get back up to this channel of descensions, resistance at 104. Let's put the price back up here. There we go. So that's $1,000 away. It's really nothing. It's really absolutely nothing to get to 104. Will we do it today? Maybe some dad rules. Who knows? Market's weird, right? So it's hard to swim in the sentiment of dismay. Jesse Wilson came for the thumbnail. Yeah, that was a still from, like, I saw this Sorrow 2 type video, and it just had such great 70s looking horror things. So I'll be those will be coming for the next week. So expect a lot of those thumbnails. Why not? What are you gonna? It's better than like nerd YouTube creators O faces. When is that gonna be done? I don't know. So let's get to 104 just to break out. Obviously, I wouldn't be bullish. Listen, because of last night, let's jump to it. Let's jump right to it. Get right into the thick of things. Because of last night's new low, we have to adjust our bear market prelude, if it were. So I had to take down this Fibonacci on the weekly because we now have a low down here at 98. So I had to drag the Fibonacci down to it from the top of our current all-time high, and it decreased the 38.2% fib, our hurdle rate to get over if we can get back there, to 115.7, which is right at this channel of descension, which is the bull flag, the weekly epic bull flag that does play out to 138. That's where the probabilities are if it were to follow past performances. And this channel of ascension. So we have a double resist, kind of a tri-delta gamma resistance from the 38.2% fib channel, the descension channel of ascension, all giving us pushback at the worst possible place. So we would like to just blast through 115. Just blast through 115. XRP, that's Crypto's signature face. I think the reason why it works is because it's a noob troll line. So what I mean by that, remember trolling when you just sit there and go real slow and have the lure dangle? You're not really doing anything. You're kind of trolling along the line. It picks up noobs, right? Like, I mean, his subscriber base is not probably going to notice anything different with his O face, right? But a noob might. It's like, getting into, oh, look at this guy. He's pretty excited. I like excitement. I'm going to go in there. That's how that works. I just can't be bothered to really do that. I've had a couple, but they're all AI O faces. So maybe there's a uncanny valley that I can't get over there. But anyway, back to 115, we can see tri-delta gamma resistance on this one. Now, how far away are we from retesting that? Let's do a new tally. From top, wick to wick is now a 21%. It just feels like it's way worse, doesn't it, than a 21% retracement. 21% retracement wasn't even a real big deal in the bear market. It was almost, we were so used to it, it just didn't make a difference. That's how fast kind of price falls when the bottom falls out. But it's all the more scary now because we don't want to potentially admit or accept that the top's in, right? So every time we do have a retracement, everyone is thinking, that's it, the top's in. And it might be. Who knows? I think one thing that's been weighing on my soul was the core/knots debate that's been going simmering, low key fire in the nether regions of the cryptosphere. I think championed by, this is Matthew Cratter, Bitcoin University, that guy, who has good videos, but he's almost like he's completely pivoted his mission to make content about this, which is good. But if it's seemingly falling on deaf ears. And the more I watch his content, Matthew Cratter, the more I think it's kind of a big deal. And to a certain degree weighs on my soul because it reinforces a narrative that I've subscribed to for a long time. And I could be wrong on it about, no third-party risk. There's no CEO. There's no board of directors. It's just code that exists in the interwebs. But when I see unremarkable retards fighting about the future of Bitcoin, it makes me think, well, I guess it does come down to human error. And if it does come down to human error, it's inevitably effed, right? Because human's human, and in the process of humaning, they ruin everything. And then you go into the darker regions, right? The ability to compromise an unremarkable retard is very easy because there's nothing remarkable about them except for a big paycheck. So let's say one of these core devs get offered $100 million by BlackRock to pledge allegiance to a certain path forward that allows BlackRock to pick that ball up and do its own version of whatever. Like maybe it leads to a fork in BlackRock's favor. These are just theories, right? They're dark theories. But I'm not sure that's what makes me afraid, is that there's human aspect to the core devs. And it's not like they're remarkable individuals. They were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they, maybe they don't live with their mom and dad. I'm not sure. Carl Elders. Whoa, I haven't done this in a long time. Carl Elder has sent 5 pianomattyb members shy. Thank you for keeping the lights on up here in Canadistan. as our country slowly falls apart. Thank you, Carl. Thank you for the 5 member shy. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the core devs being unremarkable retards that are. So the more unremarkable you are, just like the politicians, right? I can show you any picture of a politician, and that's someone who wouldn't really make it in the real world, just due to how unremarkable they are. But they're great for putting into positions of power because they're very controllable. So are these some of these core devs or the knots? I don't know. Let's take both sides. Are they all everyone's compromisable, right? An offer they can't refuse is, generational wealth for nothing. Just do this. Just do this and we'll take the rest, right? So they become an unwitting patsy in the future of Bitcoin. They didn't really know, they just took a big paycheck. They kind of, created this friction, and then someone like BlackRock solved the problem, if it were. That's what I'm worried about. Will it happen? I don't know. We've seemed to have overcome a lot of adversity in the 15 years that Bitcoin's been around. But don't you? If you haven't heard of the core knots debate, I would suggest going to Matthew Cratter's YouTube channel. It's and he's done for the past 3 months, like every day is a video on it, right? And he does lean a certain way. It's out of my pay grade to know what's what, right? So I end up resorting to an appeal to authority. Like I look at who's backing what, and then I judge them, right, by their unremarkability, if it were. So on this weekly chart as well, we are underneath the 50 moving average, which is generally, as we're going through the bull market, a good place to, pick up some sats, if it were. Now, when we're closer to the top of the market, it could be an indicator of, the steam running out. So I would like to, bare minimum, close this candle above. We don't want to close a weekly candle under the 50, because then the next week becomes pretty do or die. There it is, Terry Crow, Matthew Cratter's Bitcoin University. There's the link there. You'll have months of video watching there. And so, yeah, let's just close this candle above the 50 and not worry about it, right? And then next week, if we have another bearish week and we close under it, well, then we'll cross that bearish red candle close if we get to it. But if we come up here, I mean, we've done this before, right? Right here. This was, when was this? April 7th, we closed underneath, or we threw a wick underneath, just dangled the wick tail there. But we closed above, right? And then we continued on. Where else did we see that? Down here, September 24th. Wow, the price was 54,000. Mid bull run, arguably. We just dangled our wick underneath the 50, just dangling that wick. And then we continued up almost instantly, right? It was a good time to buy at all these things. So take a look at this one on April 7th. After that wick, it was look at the explosiveness after dangling this wick. We'll go wick to goddamn wick. Right there was 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 2 months. Let's call it 50% from there. 2 months, 50%. Let's see where this one's even more huge. Earlier in the bull run, from wick to goddamn wick. 100% growth after dipping our wick underneath the 50. Let's go back more. Okay, well, that was the first time we got above it, kind of signaling the beginning of the bull run. Oh, here's another one. We threw a wick underneath the 50 moving average back in August of 24. Oh, right. You might remember that from good times like the Japan carry trade. Remember how that rocked the world? Only our world, no one else. No one even gave a shit. No one even knew what was happening. They're just all back to work, right? But this rocked our world there. I remember I was at Victoria Beach at the same time. I'm not going to tell that story, but we threw a wick underneath the 50 moving average, and from there, wick to goddamn wick, 120. So we got 120, 103, and a 50% growth when we dipped our wick underneath the 50. So now, if we close the candle above, which means closing this week above 103, we're right there, God damn it. Right there. And let's just say, okay, we'll do some quick math. 120, 220, 270 divided by 3 is 80% average. Let's go 75%. Let's sandbag it. Let's go 70% average on the 3 wicks. Yeah, is that someone shilling Clash? Here's the thing about that Clash thing. I generally watch George because he's in a time zone where I'm driving, to the gym. But as soon as it gets to the Clash thing, it's like, to me, it's a top signal. When a big guy like George has his own kind of meme coin or game or whatever, it's not good. I don't. To me, I lose a little bit of respect and clarity for his information. Where his intentions are aligned. Getting his million subscribers into something like that. I don't know. So, do what you will, mods, with that. But let's go. Let's do our average 70% from wick dipping. If we're going to be wick dipping. So it's not. I don't think it's a bot. I think MJS134 Able is. I don't think bots, unless they're super. They've evolved to something more than putting in comments after a video. It seems like it's human beings. So yeah, well, that's my opinion on that. But let's go 70% from here, just for fun. Okay, like we can daydream about certain aspects of the market due to historical patterns. So let's do this one. 120, 103, and 50 average sandbag is 70% after we dip our wicks, right? Let's do it. 70% from here. Now, you wanted an upwards doodle. God damn it, you're going to get an upwards doodle. Here we go. Not big enough. Let's put it down there. Okay. 70. 168. So let's put that in there. 168. Is that at 168? There we go. 168. Now, when and if we hit 168, it'll be like, why did it do 168? I'll forget. Someone in here will look at this one. 190, end of August. A little late, pianomattyb for that one. Could it happen? Yeah, maybe. I think today I'll take a look at how fast things happen. The doodle of truth. Let's do it. Let's do the doodle of truth. Doodle of is that the doodle of truth? Yeah. Yes. Up here, scare the shit out of ourselves at this hurdle rate to declare that there is no bear market coming on for now. Up to 168. There. The doodle has spoken. Let thy be now. Make sure you like and subscribe.